Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to another video. This is going to be another entry into my Stocks 101 series where I cover my basic trading methodology and strategies. If you haven't checked out the playlist, the link will be in the description below. This video is all about stop losses, and I'll be showing you guys what to set them at initially and also the strategy behind moving them up as the value of your stock increases. Stop losses are a key part of your risk management system. And really, they are what determine whether or not you're successful over the long term in the market. So make sure you watch this entire video, and also at any point, if you find it useful and informative, leave a like down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Getting right into it, a stop loss is an automatic market order that is triggered if the value of your stock drops too far. So if you set it at 5% below what you purchased it at, the max amount that you'll be risking on that trade is that 5%. Stop losses are incredibly important because they stop small losses from turning into larger ones. And this simple fact is what many very successful investors credit to their fortunes. To illustrate how important stops are, here's a quick example. Let's say that there's this guy named Tom and he invests in stock ABC. He really believes in the company's fundamentals and he buys a position after a pullback. Suddenly, the stock starts selling off on high volume and drops 10% in a week. But Tom really believes in the company and he keeps holding onto his shares hoping that the stock will turn back upwards. It doesn't, and ABC continues to fall, now 10%, now 25%, and now 50% in 2 months. Finally, Tom sells his shares and takes a heavy loss, and he wonders what went wrong with his choice. He also wishes deeply that he had sold earlier, even for the 25% loss. Another investor, Nia, also invested in ABC at the exact same time. But when she set up her purchase order, she also set up a stop loss order to sell automatically if the stock dropped 4%. That first week, as ABC dropped, she took her small loss and went on to invest in other companies with most of her capital preserved. When a stock moves against you, you have to accept that and move on. You are never smarter than the market, so you have to push your ego to the side and accept that either you chose the wrong stock or you simply entered at the wrong time. Being profitable in the stock market is all about being sustainable. Remember, one trade will not determine your overall performance in the stock market. You're going to make hundreds, if not thousands, of trades over your lifetime, and the key is to be sustainable and protect your capital for the long term. One trade won't make you rich, but one trade can ruin you. So basically, set stop losses after every single market order and protect yourself. Now let's go ahead and talk about what value to actually set your stops at and also the strategy behind moving them up. According to market wizard Mark Minervini, who is definitely much more experienced than I am, you should never risk more than 1.25 to 2.5% on any single trade. This will ensure that even if one trade goes bad, you aren't denting your entire portfolio. So for instance, if you have a $100,000 portfolio and you're investing $25,000 into one stock, you should never set your stop below 10% or a $2,500 loss, because that would be risking more than 2.5% of your entire portfolio. Personally, I would recommend setting your stop much lower than 10%. IBD recommends less than 7%, and the lower the better. Your goal should be to minimize potential losses while also staying in stocks that have a shakeout and then continue to move upwards. It's all about finding what works for you and your personal trading style. Many traders also use technical analysis to determine the value of their stops. For instance, you could use the low of the previous week or the value of a moving average that the stock has previously bounced off of. I personally don't do this because I like being as consistent as possible with every single trade, but many successful traders do. So that's your initial stop loss. Let's now switch gears and talk about how to move up your stop loss if the value of your stock increases. So when entering a trade, your first goal is to protect your break-even point so that no matter what, you won't take a loss on this trade. Then, if the stock continues to push upwards, your priorities should switch to locking in profits on that trade. A common rule of thumb is to move up your stop loss once the stock has increased a multiple of your risk. So for me, since I risk 3.5% on every single trade, if the stock increases 7% or 2 times my risk, I would then move my stop up to break even. Once you move up your stop loss to break even, many different options become available for you. One strategy is to completely freeball the trade, meaning that you wait for the stock to increase to your target amount and then you take profits. Another option is to move up your stop along with a moving average. For instance, you could set it with the 50-day moving average, which Mark Minervini noticed that many growth stocks never break during their huge run-ups. The last option that I'll cover in this video, although there are definitely many others out there, is to set up a trailing stop loss below the stock's price. I personally use 5%, and I like this strategy because it gives the stock room to breathe while also staying close to the stock's price. So that covers the basics of stop losses and how to use them. The most important thing is that you do in fact set them up after every single trade because they are the safety net for your portfolio. Thanks so much for watching, and please, if you found this helpful at all, leave a like on this video down below. And also, for more content and strategies just like this one, go ahead and click that subscribe button as well. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in future videos.